Intelligent System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You listen to episode 145 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of The Division. We have another special report to talk about this week, and more news on the private beta. Hype! But Woo. First, my name is Mike. Woo. And that is obviously Rob, my co-host. I'm sure you've heard already.
Woo! Hello.
And Luke.
Woo! Hi.
Hi, Luke.
Hi.
Woo! That is a great start this week.
We're all a little bit excited and wired, aren't we?
I'm the hype bird.
Woo woo!
I was going to say, welcome to any new listeners of the show, but I'm pretty sure they just closed the door on their way out.
They definitely turned it off already. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
To anyone else that is still listening, I hope you had a great week, and I hope you guys had a good week as well. Right, let's get straight down to some news. However, no, wait a minute.
Whoa. Back it up.
Hold it up. If you haven't checked out last week's episode 144 that we recorded with CT Cunningham, one of the, he's probably one of the vital members of the Division. The backbone. That's a good word. Of the Division community. Please go back and check it out. We've had a lot of good feedback, and people have been sending some really nice messages to Chuck himself. So if you have listened to that episode, go find Chuck on Twitter, and please just send him some love. That'd be appreciated by all three of us. Anyway, let's get on with it.
State of the game.
Okay, so Tuesday this week there was a special report covering the private beta and unveiling some of the open world activities. How hyped were you after watching this, Rob?
I like the fact you asked me.
Well, I asked you because I know Luke's not. I'm not calling you out, Luke. I know you haven't watched it.
Have you watched it?
Mike? I know. I listened to it. I didn't have time to watch it.
It would have been a clever idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They didn't actually show anything.
No, they didn't.
What do you mean it didn't show anything? He played it for like an hour afterwards, didn't he?
Yeah, you don't have to watch that bit. They talked about it for like 45 minutes. You could just watch that bit and then turn it off like I did.
Didn't they sprinkle any gameplay into why they were talking about it?
There was some screenshots, and like a couple of things, but nothing we ain't seen before.
Right. I should have listened to it and just not looked at the screen. Then that would have been a really clever idea.
Well, it's a good job we're going over this now, because for those of you that didn't get a chance to check out the stream, we're going to go over it, and we're probably going to be going over a couple of bits very briefly that obviously we've talked about the past couple of weeks with regard to the private beta. So we'll kind of mull over those very, very quickly. But there are some interesting things. Hamish and Yannick were joined by Drew from the AI team, which is pretty interesting. And he basically went over some of the stuff that we'll see at Endgame with regards to a dynamic
I don't know
map.
why, but Drew just reminds me of Alex, Brad's brother, so much. I don't know why.
Wow, that's great context for everybody that knows Brad's brother, Alex. Alex, if you're listening, you look like Drew.
He's not listening.
Drew, if you're listening, you look like Alex.
Not even Brad's listening. I don't know why I said it. I'm sorry, all right?
You're a bit too excited for your own good here, Rob.
I just kept thinking it while I was watching. I was like, he looks so much like him. It's uncanny.
You never answered Mike anyway. Are you really hyped after watching the special report?
Yeah, some of the things they said was like really interesting.
You don't sound excited, dude.
I never sound excited. It's my charm.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
It's a boy. Well, I guess that's right. I can imagine you doing that. Yep, it looks like a boy.
It's my emotionless robotic charm.
Right, do we want to get the shit talk out the way first?
That's why I put this at the top when I was writing the script.
Okay, Rob, do you want to go over this? Come
There has been a bit of
Controversy.
controversy today on Reddit and other places, on Twitter, I think. With stash size. They basically went over the fact that the base stash number is 50. You can unlock 50 while playing the game, and when you hit endgame, you get another 50. The people that paid for extra stash space get that 50 you unlock during the game as soon as you open the game. So at endgame, everyone has the same size stash space. There's no advantage for you're not paying for more. Well, you are, but you're only getting it for 1 to 30.
Okay, so basically what they're saying is anyone that pre-ordered the game with the intent of purchasing additional stash space, you won't be getting additional stash space, right?
Well, you are, but just
you
for
get
a limited
early access.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they probably should have made that a lot clearer a long time ago.
A lot clearer. Not how many weeks away? What is this? 145. We're 5 weeks away at the minute. 5 weeks. You think how many pre-orders they've had for this game? That is absolutely... It's kind of disgusting that it's been left this long. But the thing is, I will say now, you can't blame the community team or any of the devs for this. This is down to whatever marketing situation has gone on.
Yeah, it's the wording being used.
Yes.
But that's not the only thing you get with the extra when you've paid for extra spash stash.
Space dash.
Yeah, that's what I said, right? You get another stuff with it, so it's just like one of the things you get when you paid for it.
Yeah, because you're getting the elite agent pack, which comes with some other stuff as well. Do you know what the funny thing is? I had a look when the pre-orders went live for this about 5-6 months ago. Do you remember? And I basically had a look today, and I looked at like stash space videos. So I was like, cool. I kind of want to see other people's thoughts on this, see everyone raging about it. Do you know, I haven't seen anybody raging in videos at all about this. Yeah, go back 6 months ago, right? And the amount of people raging over the fact that people had to pay for additional stash space, there was like 50 to 30 videos on that. It's completely different. I understand how bad this is for the people that purchased it, and they should not have done that.
Funny thing is, it's probably the same people moaning about it now.
I don't know, but like I've said before, I'd be happy to pay for stash space if that was, they do it in other games.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've basically twisted it is really the worst thing about this. But on the other side, I think people would be pissed off if they were like, okay, so you get like an extra 100. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a no-win scenario, really, wasn't it? Because you were either going to piss off the people that have paid for it by doing what they've done, or like you said, you piss off everybody else by doing what we thought they were doing and giving you basically pay-to-win stash. So they were caught between a rock and a hard place. And like you rightly said, Mike, it's got nothing to do with the devs. This would have been a marketing idea, wouldn't it? So,
yeah.
It's not shone them in the greatest of lights. I think the marketing team's got previous for this sort of thing, haven't they? For not being particularly clear with the wording of certain offers or deals or whatever.
It's Yannick's fault. He's got his maths wrong again.
It's not the end of the world, is it? Let's be honest. If anybody is really that pissed off about it, there's still time to cancel your pre-order.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing that.
Change your pre-order. I wouldn't say cancel completely. If you still want the game, there's a lot of different options out there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with the people that are pissed off, though. I think they've got a right to be pissed off because they were kind of missold on this. But as I say, just change your pre-order. You still want the game. It's not going to leave that sour taste in your mouth, surely, that you don't play the game. So.
Because it is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be hoarding stuff while you're leveling.
I don't know. Not till
You're
you.
only going to be all hoarding stuff once you hit endgame, aren't you? Because that's when you get the decent stuff.
Yeah, but you'll say that if you go through the division 1 to 30 now, you would just scrap everything. We don't know how things are going to run in the
suppose
division 2.
You can upgrade.
Because you might be able to upgrade stuff.
Blueprints, can't you?
I think you're a lot more likely to keep a lot of the lower level gear if you play the game quite slowly as well, because you can mess around with stuff at lower levels to teach yourself what you need to do at endgame, can't you? Which is kind of how I played the first time through, because I had no idea what the fuck any of the gear did. So
yeah, it's shit, but on the other end, I'm glad that they're not putting in a situation where we're having to pay microtransactions for stash space. As much as I've said in the past, I will do it if, I'm somebody that hoards a lot of loot, so I'm happy enough to do it. And by the looks of it, a lot of other people...
That's an understatement.
yeah,
Shut up.
biggest one ever.
But that's the problem. A lot of other people were willing to do that as well, and that's what the problems come from. And the other thing as well, we're starting with 150 this time. Yannick has said on Twitter that chances are you might get more in the future.
I was just going to ask you that, because this is already more than we get in the stash in the first game, which has been bumped up from where it started at like 40 or 50, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which is now 120. So we're still getting extra than what we were in the first game. So do you guys think that is an indication of how much loot we're going to get? Bearing in mind, you don't need to collect all your mods and stuff this time around.
Without spoiling anything for you, you only don't need to collect weapon mods.
Yes.
You still got other stuff to collect.
Gear mods, and even
sorry, yeah, I should
your
have worded that
skills
better.
have mods now as well.
Right.
Okay, right, let's move on to some endgame. So when you finish the campaign in the Division 2, you're going to be able to enter the endgame, where the world of Washington will transform, and newly introduced faction, the Black Tusks, will come in and basically take over territories of the map. They're also going to be able to invade main missions, and you're going to have to push them back and take back control of the map once again. I'm just going to keep talking about this for 1 second because I know we've got like a little comment in the notes. I just say over time you will kick them out of one territory, but they will come back in another territory, and that gives you a dynamic endgame loop long after the initial campaign is done. And when the Black Tusks are present, they are also going to be taking over the control points, and the named zone will transform and give more activities. However, that does not mean the old campaign factions are gone, as they're not happy that the Black Tusks are present, so the True Sons, the Hyenas, and the Outcasts will then fight back against the Black Tusks. That gives the world a very chaotic and new transformation. Did we call this?
If I can take you back to the IFM videos we have on our YouTube, back in July of 2017, we published a video called Faction Wars.
No, what was it called?
Faction Wars.
No, what was the main title?
Faction Wars.
Before that, subheading, whatever you want to call it.
IFM.
Which means?
Idea for Massive.
And what did we say, Rob?
So if anyone's interested, go back and go and watch that video. The video is terrible, but just listen to the audio, because it was back before we knew what we were doing with videos, and it was PlayStation footage and
all the rest of it. But yeah, you can go check it out on YouTube.
It's actually the episode we had Riley out on that episode, and he was in on the IFM.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was like, "Oh, that sounds like a really good idea."
Yeah.
And then not long after, West Side Piers came out, and we were like, "That's like, it's kind of like our idea."
Like, we talked even on the IFM. We'd already, like Luke says on the IFM, we discussed this months ago. So we're talking 2 years ago. We pretty much called out the end game for Division 2. Whether they stole the idea a little bit, or we're just really good at guessing 2 years before even knowing the game was coming out. Doesn't really matter. I'm not bothered. It was a really good idea. The fact they've used it or the fact that they borrowed it is irrelevant.
That's fine. As long as you send the royalties to SITREP Radio at gmail.com. No, this is fucking awesome. I was talking to Brad about it and he was like, holy shit, like, didn't we talk about this for the Division 1 like ages ago? I was like, yeah, funny enough, we talked about it. We went home, we recorded an episode, then put a video out there. And it's like, he's kind of like 85% on board with the Division at the minute. And now like he's like, I'm 90%. Because the whole point that we wanted is that for us, yeah, you've got HVTs in the current Division. You've got search and destroy missions. Yeah, you've got Westside Pierce, but this was back before that was even dropped into the game. The worlds was so open and there's nothing going on with it. We were basically trying to come up with an idea that was like, cool, you've done everything. Let's have some PvE content that just keeps you back going out into the open world.
Yep.
Oh, look, here it is in the Division 2. I'm totally fucking on board because I sent Rob a link and something I mentioned in that video. Mass Effect, I can't remember, was it the War assets or something like that in Mass Effect 3?
Yeah.
You basically, it was this idea, but you had to, like, it was the multiplayer side of Mass Effect 3, which was the single player campaign. So it's kind of cool that in this, it's everything all mixed together. And then obviously GTA and San Andreas. But I mean, how do you guys feel about it?
I'm interested to know how important it is if you just decide to ignore these. Like, if you get all the way to the end of Endgame and then you get to the state where literally the only reason you're logging into Division 2 is like how I've been for Division 1 for quite a while. It's Dark Zone or PvP modes or nothing. So if you just completely ignore the map, does it get worse and worse and worse and worse to the point where you would have to go back and pretty much take over the entire map again? So that they sort of stack on top of each other. Yeah, that would be cool. Because, you could just have if you're bored of PvP, you could just have a full PvE day of just clearing the map out again, couldn't you? It's basically New Game 2.0, so...
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just the open world now. It's going to be happening in missions, which is obviously the invaded mission that they talked about last week. So the Black Tusks will now invade during missions.
I can see that's basically how they're going to do the daily missions, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to have to rerun those missions to clear the faction out, and probably other factions as well. The cool thing as well is you can have like civilians fighting back against the Black Tusks and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it just sounds like a cracking idea.
Because like Rob messaged me last night and was like, oh dude, Marco's video. Marco's just said something about like the open world and how dynamic it's going to be. And it sounds very similar to something we talked about. And then obviously they came out with the stream and I was like, holy shit. That's cool. Are you happy, Rob?
Yeah, really happy.
Deadpan as always. Cool. And finally, just very quickly, the Black Tusks are very technologically advanced. They have drones and that big robo dog.
And mini tanks as well.
Mini tanks. And other stuff. They sound like they're going to be pretty cool. The only thing is, every time I hear Tusks, who is it who said it earlier? Donald Tusk? I think somebody was on about Donald Tusk. Don't worry. I think it was Brad. Me and Brad were having a laugh about something. And Tusken Raiders.
Oh yeah, I did an impression last night, didn't I? I can't repeat it.
Yeah, please don't.
These guys do sound badass, though. I'll give them that much. Like the fact that they're basically the Division 2's version of the LMB, so they're the ones with the better weapons and the better tech and stuff. That
LMB on steroids.
Yeah.
I'm really interested, like, I don't know what the missions are going to be at launch, but I would assume at some point down the road, this is me assuming something, maybe I shouldn't do this, but we would get legendary. What are legendary missions could be like with these?
Tough.
Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot.
What? You asked the question, I gave you an answer. Might not have been the one you wanted, but hey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, fuck you. That point when we end up going around in circles because Rob just throws a random word in there. Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, I'm not doing that again. Wait, it is going to be interesting to see how things are going to change at legendary level, because of TTK is probably going to be quite low compared to the Division 1 at the minute with legendary missions. I'm not saying that they're not going to turn into any like bullet sponge, but they probably will slightly. But does that mean like the AI is going to get even more difficult to fight against, or more intricate?
That would be the logical next step, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If they do legendary missions again. Yes, Rob, I said do.
I was already killing Caitlin.
Only time he smiles is when you make a childish 2-year-old joke.
I'm pretty sure he makes this. One of us ends up making it this every week by accident.
Usually me, to be fair.
Yeah, apparently they're not the only advanced faction we'll meet, but they are the most tactical one. Apparently they don't have hit points or do more damage than anyone else, but they are tactically superior, and they should provide new challenges for players and forcing them to relearn what they have used during the campaign, which is kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool if we use the campaign as a learning curve for the end game, because it doesn't really do that in the Division 1, does it?
Yeah, that would be a great improvement. I'm on board for that.
Nice. Blockades, this is one of the end game activities that the Black Tusks take over a named zone, and they do what they need to do to reach their goals. This leads to blockade activity, which was not explained apparently. Crafting system in the Division 2. Rob, you were interested in this.
Was I?
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
I don't remember being interested in this.
Pretty sure you said you were interested in the crafting system.
Did I?
Maybe
I'm more interested in the recalibration, to be honest. But yeah, the crafting, you craft all your weapon mods. Well, not all of them, but some of your weapon mods. Your blueprints will level with you, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
There is a lot more materials this time around. They're more based in reality, so it's not just fabric.
Yeah, I think that was
tools.
one thing I heard on the stream, that I was like, it's kind of cool that we're actually getting real life materials to kind of chase after. It gives you that more sense of realism.
It's going to make it more grindy, the fact there's more mats to actually look for.
One of the new materials I can remember picking up when we played at Gamescom was carbon fiber, which I can only assume has got something to do with your armor plates, but we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it could be. I mean,
this is not just mats for crafting stuff. You have to pick up stuff to give to
civilians.
You donate it to the resources to the civilians, don't you?
Yeah. I was going to say settlers, but they're not, are they? It's the... what are they called? Where all the civilians hang out anyway. I can't remember what they're bloody called now.
In a house. The civilian house.
Yes, the civilian house.
Yeah, but you are right. When you take over a control point, you'll donate resources to the civilians. Obviously,
yeah, control point, not like what we did on the demo.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
With the new resources, they're going to grow stronger, put more patrols on the street, and also reinforce the control points, which is going to be interesting to see how that works with the Black Tusks at endgame, because they're obviously going to be on the street. They're holding it back whilst you're not there. So you're going to have to keep taking back the control points and donating the resources. Otherwise, there's not going to be anybody there on the front line to keep those under control, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's. I think at the minute, from what I've heard, what we're reading, what I've heard, it sounds like everything's kind of going to link together. So you're going to have to do multiple activities, but they are all kind of integrated.
Another thing they said on the stream was, if you antagonize a control point while it's controlled by a faction, then leave it alone. They kind of make it, they barricade it more, make it hard to attack, and then if you come back once they've barricaded it and attack, you get better loot from the stockpile that you open once you've taken it down.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was really cool as well.
That is cool.
Luke, do you want to go over some of the activities in the open world?
Yeah. So there's a huge variety of activities in the open world on Division 2. They happen on the needs and the basis of what the factions and the civilians in the different areas need. Dynamic events will take place even when you're not there. And in case another faction comes around, it can also start a firefight between those that are involved. These events are also dependent on your own actions, what faction is currently dominating in that named zone, and that really makes a living, breathing world where you can completely and utterly make a difference. The activities they mentioned on the stream were public executions that we as agents need to stop. There's hostage situations where you need to free hostages from various factions. There's faction propaganda where you need to take back a big propaganda speaker. And there's the control points, which were in the they were in the demo and the E3 footage and that, weren't they? Which we know quite a bit about. They sound cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that the dynamic events take place even when you're not there. It sounds like Monster Hunter for anyone that played that. I haven't played it myself, but apparently, like, it's a living, breathing world. Even it like just continues going constantly on the live servers. So it sounds like that's going to be the case here. It's quite cool that we're getting a lot more varied activities in the open world to go do, not just control points.
See, one thing I did see in on Twitter was that I think it was Drew and Yannick both kept saying that there's stuff in the beta that they've specifically taken out. Sorry, stuff from the main game that's specifically taken out of the slice of the game that we're getting for the beta, so that they can keep some stuff secret. So the fact that I've just said, obviously, these 4 different activities for the open world, who knows how many there are when the game is fully released. There's bound to be bits and pieces sprinkled across all the activities that we don't know they're getting, because, as they rightly said, they've even taken some story parts out, haven't they, to keep the story as closely guarded secret as possible. So there could be countless extra activities that you do in the open world that have got nothing to do with the main missions, which I think would be cool, because it does sound like we're getting a fuck ton of content to start with.
On that note, Drew also said on the stream that there are secrets that people will have to find, and they're not going to be easy to do.
Oh, really?
I wonder if that's going to be similar to the secret mission on the West Side Piers.
Yeah, or like it's similar to what Destiny does, where they do like puzzles.
There we go.
And
Just mentioned it again.
Yeah, the community involved like secret missions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's. I think the other thing as well, like you just said, Luke, this is a lot of stuff that we're seeing at the minute. This is just in the beta. There's stuff being removed from the end game. We've got the campaign.
Yep.
We don't obviously know how many missions in that are going to be like end game compatible, legendary, if we're even going to get legendary missions or anything like that from the start. We know there's going to be a raid. Please don't drop it a week. Raids, sorry. We know there's additional PvP content and all the rest of it. The other thing as well is like we've got the episodes of free content for the first year.
Yep.
So how are we going to have time to do everything?
Well, there's even more. There's even more as well, though, isn't there? Because within the open world, they've confirmed that named enemies are coming back.
Yeah.
And additional to named enemies coming back, they've also got bounties. So that's just even more shit for you to do in the open world.
Those named enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like seeing HVTs come back, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but HVTs weren't in the base game when that first came out, if I'm remembering correctly. So everything we're getting at launch of Division 2 took at least 6 months to arrive in Division 1. And extra. Yeah, and extra, like we've said with like the hostage situations and the fact that stuff goes on in the open world, whether you're there or not.
Yeah, it's just insane because like I remember the conversations. We've kind of like paced ourselves on content and what we actually thought we were going to get in the Division 2. Do you know what I mean? And it's just completely so strange. Yeah, it was just like, well, this is the other thing. We've spent like 2 years because you kind of know that Division 2 is in progress. You've seen all these other games come out. The obvious one, I won't name it now. You've got Anthem coming out, which is everyone's like, what are we going to end game? We don't know what anything else is kind of going to drop with it. We don't know like how dynamic is the open world. We don't know. I don't expect it's going to be anywhere near as dynamic as this, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's just crazy to think that we've spent all that time going, well, maybe we're going to get a stripped down version of the game and it'll be slowly added to in the episodes with regards to like the DLC and the free content. The fact that we've got PvP in there launch day. We've got the one thing that we really wanted from the Division 1, the dynamic spawning system with regards to faction wars. I know it's not faction wars, they're calling it something else, but come on, boys, it's us. we copyrighted that.
SITREP trademark.
You know, you're going to have to build up civilian bases. It's freaking amazing. I just can't believe how much content we're going to have launch day. And from that, I really hope the launch goes well, because for them to go to all that effort to put all this in there, it would be such a shame for it to go tits up, wouldn't it? Not tits up,
There's
but you know what I
definitely
mean.
a lot more RPG elements.
Yeah.
I'm actually sat here wondering if me booking a week off is going to be long enough.
Fuck a week. Need a month, dude.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I can't take a month off in one go, but I could blow my 2 weeks. Dead easy.
Then ring in sick for 2 weeks.
Well, I've got 13 weeks I can use, so
All right, fuck
That
off,
might-
mate.
that might be
in a
long
block.
enough.
Can you share it out?
Can I email my leave to my friend? Yeah, it's just it is insane how much we're getting. To think we were going to get a stripped back game, and we're not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I think at least on a couple of episodes of SITREP going a little bit back, when we first announced Division 2, we put warnings out like, don't get your hopes too high. They're going to strip back some of the content. You know, we've got loads
Not
to
gonna
do in
see
Division
everything day
1.
one. Yeah.
Now we've already got more to do than in the first game.
Yeah. Massive like hold my beer.
Yeah, watch this.
Fuck these guys, hold my beer. And then they do that. And honestly, I'm proud that they've done that. That's such a huge amount of work gone into that as well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why I want it to do well. That's why I want it to launch really well. And the beta's coming this weekend. There's a lot of people looking forward to it. Yeah, there's issues. You know, people haven't seen it on their Uplay yet, or they haven't had their code through, or can't invite their friends. There's still like little stuff like that going through. But I do want it to launch this weekend really well, because it would put the game in a better position than a lot of games we've seen launch recently.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. Well said.
Okay,
Well,
so very quickly, we'll go over the
Should we
beta
just-
content.
Yeah, move on to the beta content. You've kind of skipped two of the things we were on the script, but I'll let you off.
Oh, go on then.
No, it's
Do
fine.
you want to discuss them quick?
No.
Very
No.
okay. No, you're right. Very quickly, play with friends on any level. I think we've said this before. You're going to be able to be buffed up to other players that you're fighting with. You're going to earn XP, but it's going to be on the level that you can use. So it's so you don't jump the levels too quick and stuff like that. Randomized NPC spawns. I'm guessing that's in the open world. No, apparently it's in the mission. So when you play it again, they're going to randomize the NPCs. So different group combinations and different spawn points. That's really cool, actually, because the amount of times.
I really
Well-
like that one. Yeah, I was just going to say I really like that one because, you know, running Lexington or whatever mission in Division 1 after 1,000 times, you know exactly what enemy's going to spawn in, exactly what position. You're already pre-firing. You've already got your grenades ready. You're just running through it on autopilot mode, not giving two fucks what's happening. Randomized NPC spawns within missions, to me, sounds like, obviously not every time you play every mission because there's only so many scenarios I would imagine they can program into any mission, but there's going to be different versions of every mission that you play. So the types of NPCs that spawn at specific times are going to be different. The positions that the NPCs spawn from are going to be completely different. So it might be the same mission that you played yesterday in terms of the scenery and that, but the actual gameplay of the mission will be completely different, which is brilliant.
Adds to the replayability, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's also kind of a fuck you to the people like, well, it's they're going to come out of that door and that's going to happen.
Exactly.
It really does change it up. Very quickly, Rob, I know me and Luke discussed it, but how do you feel about all the content that we are going to get launch day by the looks of it?
I need to suddenly have a bout of depression You take 6 months off.
You sound like you're good to go.
No,
so-
I'm already practicing. See?
All right, okay. Is that your ringing depressed
Yeah.
voice?
Yeah,
I'm not feeling very good today.
yeah.
Okay, so yes, by the time the beta is launched, this podcast episode will be out. Hopefully, it's out a little bit earlier for you guys because we are recording on a Wednesday night instead, so we can all play the beta. I think we're going to play the beta, right, guys?
No, I'm going to play Apex.
He's going to play it with his pecs. Anyway, you will not start the beta at the real start of the game. You can start a little bit further. I'm pretty sure we know this anyway. You'll be level 1 when you start, and you can level up to level 7. There's no character creation, but there will be like a random character that you can create when you first start the game.
Does that annoy you,
It's-
Mike?
What? The fact that I can't spend an hour in the creation station? No, not at all.
I mean, you can spend
beta-
an hour like hitting random.
Well, yeah, I could do. I mean, it'd be a waste of time, but what if it's only got like 5 rolls on it?
No, it hasn't.
Oh, okay. Then I might be stuck in the menu for a little bit then. I'd just be like, roll. Ooh. Roll. Ooh. Look at that one. Beta activities. I mean, we discussed this last week. You're going to get 2 main missions, 5 side missions, and an open world full of dynamic activities for you to play. And the Dark Zone.
Yes.
And
And PvP.
an invaded mission. And you get to test out the specializations on Friday, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the
Friday
reason,
the 8th.
yeah, you can only have one main character, because they're using the other 3 slots to give you, each one has a specialization. That's the reason why you can't. I mean, you can still delete that main character. Why are you doing weird hand gestures, Mike? I'm done. You can carry on.
Was that from the special report, Rob?
Yes, they basically
So-
said, because you can only have 4 characters in the game, you can scroll through them, and each one will have like a level 30. Like 3 of them will be level 30 with a specialization already picked, with like a pre-equipped gear set.
What I was heading
Oh, yeah,
towards
it's-
was the fact that you said there's 4 character slots, so we're getting the same in Division 2 as what we got in the first game. 4,
Yes,
4
we are.
slots. Right,
yes.
cool.
The other thing as well is obviously 3 of those character slots are took up by endgame characters when they go live. One of them is the one you will run the whole beta with. But if you want to delete that character and restart the beta from scratch and go through all the missions from the start again, you are welcome to do that. It would be the same as
Why?
what it would be in the live game.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you
Some
do
people
that?
want to do that.
I bet Boris does that.
Beta rewards. So if you participate in the beta, you're going to get an exclusive weapon skin, a special reward when you complete the end game mission. If you complete the end game mission, I guess. And the download itself for the beta will be 46 gig, and there will be a small patch of about 200 megabytes, probably to activate it on.
It's not 46 gigs, but
Yeah,
it's 45
that's
gigs
what's-
on PlayStation. It's about 42 on Xbox, about 41 on PC.
very precise. Thank you very much.
I've already downloaded mine.
Me too.
And hopefully you've already preloaded. If not, go and well, you don't need to preload. Just go download the beta now.
Pre-ejaculate right now.
If that's what you feel like doing whilst you're waiting for your download to do.
Talking about
That's-
ejaculation, Mike. Did you hear about photo mode being in the game?
I mean, I don't really know what that's got to do with ejaculation, but
I was
If you
struggling with the connection too, to be honest.
Well, it's just something Mike's going to bone over quite a lot, I think.
well, it's not just me then. That's like saying 90% of the Division community is going to bone over photo mode. That's a lot of ejaculation.
You're 90% of the community, then, are you?
No, I'm not. But there's a
Okay.
lot of people out there that like to take pictures in this game.
Okay.
But now they can do it with a dedicated photo mode anyway.
Yeah, that was put together by Ubisoft Leamington. They've been busy as hell by the looks of it. They've designed the photo mode for the Division 2, and this comes directly from the community, and it's why they wanted to include it in the game. So you can document what you discover in the world of the Division 2. Unfortunately, It's a shame this got leaked a couple of weeks ago, thanks to a sweet, was it Eurogamer video that was like,
Something
Oh, yeah,
like
we
that,
made a video, didn't we?
yeah, we did.
But it's always nice to have these rumours
Royal
confirmed, isn't it?
Yeah. Private beta invites should have gone out to everyone who's pre-ordered and confirming your beta access. Some players who registered on the divisiongame.com/beta will also potentially gain access. And you have to access through Uplay. Just follow the instructions in the email. Beta rewards, I think we've gone over that. There are private beta invites, but I'm pretty sure it's only through Uplay. Rob, you said you were trying to work that out earlier.
No, it's how it works is if you go to I think the instructions are in the invite email. There's a website set up where you enter 3 friends as email addresses and then they get invited as well.
The divisiongame.com/beta. You log in on that website. It'll come up with your list of Uplay friends. So if you're not currently friends with the people you want to invite, you have to add them as friends. Refresh the website and then tick the boxes and then hit go. And then they should get invites. Although I don't think it's working properly at the moment.
It's probably swamped though, right?
Yeah.
Which means you guys, I've already pretty much done mine. I've got 1 more to give away, but you guys have got 3 codes to give out.
It's true.
So contact Sir Mike and Sir Luke on Twitter.
I imagine all of my Uplay friends have already pre-ordered them.
Yeah.
Well, if not, hit us up on Twitter, twitter.com/SITREP Radio pod, and we should be able to hook you up if we've still got any left. I think the last thing, which for me is really fucking good, and for you guys as well, is we don't have to spend next week going redacted. Redacted? Oh, do you remember that bit when we redacted? So,
well, me and Rob still need to be careful because there might be stuff that was in the alpha that's not in the beta.
Well, that's true. But
So we might have to say
I don't care.
We can talk about it up to redacted point.
True.
I might do that all the time just to really piss you off.
Like, you son of a bitch. The Division 2 will not be under a NDA, the private beta that is. So please feel free to discuss your time in the game, share your screenshots, stream, or capture any content you wish.
We'll be streaming, won't we, Mike?
Yes, we will.
Another royal we.
There's so much.
I feel like I'm getting called out a bit on today's episode.
No,
it's not to do with you. It's like that thing where you're doing up the bathroom. Your missus is like, "Oh, we did up the bathroom." I'm like, did we do up the bathroom, or did I do up the bathroom?
Which one of you two was streaming last night? That was Robin control.
Was it me? No, it wasn't me.
Oh, I got it wrong.
That was the night before.
Oh, they all merge into one.
Yeah, it's true.
Very quickly before we go, I know we kind of discussed this last week, but after all the new information that you've heard today, what are you looking forward to trying out? Apart from everything. Because we're going to play everything.
That was going to be my answer to
the stuff I haven't already done in the alpha. There you go.
What did you do?
I can't tell you.
Redacted. Damn it! I was going to try and catch him up. People are talking over me whilst I was trying to.
We'll tell you in 5 years.
One thing we haven't.
Technically, it's less than that.
There's one more thing we haven't mentioned. There is an exclusive weapon skin and special reward when you complete the end-game mission in the beta. You'll get that in the real game.
Also, we can show off.
Yeah, that you were
sweet
OG beta.
You can do a Mason from the Weekly Planet. You can go woo. That's like a weird reference that no one's going to get apart from me, Rob and Brad.
Woo, woo.
Luke, anything you're looking forward to?
PvP mode, Dark Zone. I mean, surprise the fucking prize. And then the PvE open world stuff that I talked about earlier. Because if that does increase replayability, then I am totally all for that.
Okay, I'm going to flip the question. What aren't you looking forward to playing?
The stuff we already played on the alpha.
Yeah,
Because I'll be replaying it.
That and Anthem.
Oh, nice.
Really not excited to play that.
Well, thank you to everyone who sent in questions this week. No, we didn't actually ask for questions because
No, we're not going to
we're
answer
recording
any.
earlier. No. So, where can the listeners find us, Rob?
You can find us over at SITREP Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as our personal accounts. Send any questions or feedback for the show to sitrepRadiopod@gmail.com, or you can find us on our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. We want to hear your thoughts on the news and topics we cover, so be sure to leave a comment and join the discussion in any of those places. Luke?
I just got to clap you there. I just got to clap you. Well done, dude. You did it.
It's probably the best he's ever done it, and it's taken 144 episodes for him to get it right.
Because I normally rush it, because I want to get it done.
Or you're drunk.
Or I'm drunk.
Please leave a review of the show using the podcast app of your choice. We really do enjoy reading all the reviews. The feedback is genuinely excellent, and at the end of the day, it does actually help other people to find our show. If you're brave or stupid enough to listen all the way to the very end of the show, you'll hear all the juicy details about the other awesome shows that are available on the Mash Those Buttons network. Fuck you, Mike, and thank you.
I thought you were going to say fuck you, Boris, but Boris isn't here right now. Anyway, we do live stream as often as we can, so if you're interested in dropping by and chatting with us whilst we play The Division, and probably some more Division, and then there'll probably be some more Division after that, you can find us all over at twitch.tv/SITREP Radio. We have been SITREP Radio. Have fucking fun playing the beta this weekend.
Woohoo!
We hope you enjoy it.
Woo.
We're out. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction